Remember, my excellent drivers, you are responsible for the safe use of your vehicle and abiding by the state or territory rules that you are driving in, and that, of course, includes mobile phone usage.
Welcome to the Learn to Drive podcast. I'm your host, Liz Lafferty, and I'm here to guide you through the twists and turns of learning to drive with a few laughs along the way. So whether you're a newbie trying to figure out why the car keeps beeping at you, or a seasoned road warrior who still can't parallel park without causing a minor traffic jam, I've got you covered. So buckle up, check those mirrors, and let's hit the road to becoming a more confident and happier driver. Hi folks, welcome to the Art of Confident Driving. I'm your host Liz Lafferty, and for those of you who've been wondering where I've been, I'm sorry. I've been travelling from the Gold Coast down to Ballarat to see my dad, who was quite unwell and ended up in hospital. And a couple of times he got out of hospital, I was there, so yeah, I had to travel down to see my dad. Unfortunately, he passed away on the 1st of December, peacefully, with family around him. He was very comfortable. The palliative care people down there at Gundara are amazing, so shout out to them. But the reason I'm saying this is because this episode is about courtesy, really, and my dad was hands down one of the most courteous drivers I've ever seen. He rarely got angry at other drivers. He used his horn only absolutely when necessary, and he was a very courteous driver. He would allow people in, he would give a wave to say thanks. And waiting in a car park was not a big drama for him. He was a very patient man. So I would very much like to dedicate this episode to my dad, one of the best, safest and most courteous drivers I've ever come across. All right, folks, let's talk car parks. Especially at Christmas time or the holidays, my goodness, don't things go a little crazy? So I do have some tips on how to deal with driving in a car park and finding a spot. But let's just have a quick chat about what we don't really want to do. And the first one would be, if it's not an actual parking spot, don't park there. I'm seeing a lot of people park on the outer of the turning bays of the aisleways where we're meant to go up and down, and it doesn't allow movement for two vehicles to pass each other. So again, that's going to cause drama. People are slowing down. I mean, okay, and this is one of the biggest ones, guys. Car parks should be 20 kilometres or less, preferably 15, possibly even 10. It kind of depends on how busy the car park is. And at Christmas time, it's going to be busy, isn't it? So please, there shouldn't be any fast movement in a car park. You need to think about cars reversing out. You need to think about kids walking out from between parked cars. Anything could happen. So please, there is no rush in a car park. Let's slow down, take our time, and make sure everybody's safe. So if there isn't a spot, don't park in one. Please park between the lines. Yes, there are some very big vehicles out there at the moment, and they are required as well to park in between the lines. If the big vehicles can't park there, well, maybe they should go find another spot. Yes, I know people are going to be unhappy hearing that, but if you're hanging over the line by a metre, you are interfering with the flow of traffic. You are interfering with vision for other drivers. So please think about another spot. Go right the way up the end and walk down, okay? When you're waiting for a spot, A, indicate, okay? And B, don't kind of hassle the driver who's coming out. They might need a bit more space than what you think, so don't crowd that spot. Don't get in too close. Indicate early, and people will know which spot you want to go into. You cannot save a spot by standing in it. I know, it sounds crazy. Why would somebody stand in a parking spot? It's for a car, it's not for a person. So please don't stand in the spot waiting for your driver to come back around the block to take that spot. It's just, again, it's asking for trouble. Please take all of the trolleys back to the trolley bays. Why? Because nobody wants a dinged car. Nobody wants to attempt to go into a spot where there are two trolleys sitting in there instead of an empty space. So please, get the steps in. That's what I think whenever I'm taking a trolley back. I'm getting my daily steps in. This is good. Okay, a couple of other big safety things. Please don't walk behind a reversing car. Too many people these days rely on cameras only and sensors, and sometimes they're a little behind the eight ball. They're not quite on time with the human eye. So please, the drivers, you all should be doing 360s. Literally, your head should be turning around left and right and out the back to see out the back, to know what is out there before you reverse. But as a pedestrian, it's up to us to also take on some responsibility and say, well, I'm not going to walk behind a reversing car because it's dangerous. They may not see me. Please, when it comes to disabled spots or mobility spots, they are for the people who have got the permits. They're not for you to rush in and grab whatever you need to and rush back out. These are people who need the extra space to get in and out of their car, and they need to be able to get to the shops as close as possible, okay? So us able-bodied humans, we shouldn't be anywhere near those car parking spots, right? But also the spots next to it with the stripes, they're to allow the people with the wheelchairs to get in and out of the car easily. So if somebody puts their bike there, so I've seen many motorcycles park in those spots, guys, again, you're stopping that person being able to get in and out of their car easily. So again, a little bit more forethought. Hey, who cares if we get more steps in? It'll just make us healthier. So please park in the correct spots. Okay, another one, none of us like it, the ding in the door or the dent in the door. So us as drivers, we're pretty cautious getting out of our car, but often it's the kids in the back seat, they'll just fling open the door. So one thing I used to do with my daughter is I would get out of the car and I'd then come around to her side and help her out, especially if it was a small spot. And of course, most cars, you've got a locking ability. So you should be able to, lock the internal doors so that the kids can't just jump out if you're really that worried. And then you can go around and get the kids out so that we don't do any damage to anybody else. All right, so a couple of my personal tips. Whenever I'm going to the shops at this busy, very busy time of the year, I'm always prepared to wait. You just got to get into that mindset. You're going to have to wait for a parking spot, or you're going to have to circle until you eventually find one. Again, that's another form of waiting. So the difference is I used to circle, now I don't. I just find a aisle one where I know eventually somebody will turn up. It might take 2 minutes, it might take 5 minutes. It has on one occasion taken 10 minutes. But I've still managed to get a parking spot in the aisleway I was waiting in. Now you're probably going, but you're blocking traffic. Well, look, I'm not, because I'm left indicating and I'm literally looking at the person who is at their, car with the trolley. If I feel I'm blocking traffic, then yes, I will move on to a different, quieter aisleway. It shouldn't be the main one, guys. Don't just sit there for 10 minutes with your indicator on, telling people that you're waiting for a car parking spot when they're not there. But if you're in a nice, quiet one, everybody comes back to their car eventually. So if you've got 40 spots in that aisleway, well, somebody will come back fairly soon, fingers crossed. So yeah, please be patient. Expect to have to wait. Do allow extra time. Don't give yourself 1 hour to go shopping, because I guarantee you 20 minutes of that will be finding a park, and maybe another 10 minutes just to get out of the car park. So don't be under pressure when you want to, do the Christmas shopping. Please take your time. I make use of my passengers. So whether I've got 1 or 4, I will get all eyes open. I'll say, come on guys, eyes up. We need to look around and try and find me a spot, please. And often they'll spot one, which I didn't. Now I'm pretty good at spotting a car parking spot. I get quite lucky with that. But sometimes they'll do it for me, which is fantastic. And it helps. It makes it part of the experience. Oh, Mum, look, I saw one over there. Great, well done. Okay. But please, I guess above all, be kind, be courteous. Take that extra moment to, all right, well, that person's walking in front of my car. I'll stop. I won't just give them a hard time, People are a little bit crazy this time of year. Hopefully we can all just take a step back, calm down and go, look, it's Christmas. We don't need to rush. There's, no giant panic to get anywhere. We're just going to stay calm. And even if we're running late, it's not a big problem. So please take your time. Have a good time when you're going out shopping, but try not to have a bad time when you're parking. And the only way to do that is stay calm, be patient, and relax. All right, my friends, please have a very safe and happy holidays wherever you are. I hope you have a wonderful time and spend it with family and friends. And I look forward to some really great episodes in the new year. I'll catch you next time. Remember to relax and enjoy that drive. Merry Christmas. And my full driving lessons are available on Apple Podcasts and the artofconfidentdriving.com website, where you will get access to instructional videos. Remember to relax and enjoy the drive. See you next time.